Okay, so we've got a lot of things coming up here this week, and well, really the important thing coming up here this week is your essay. And so we just wanted to take a moment and talk through that a little bit. We encourage you, we hope that you've been working on it now for the last several weeks, and that really what you're in right now is just the refining process. You're finishing it up, you're making sure that it's as good as it can be, you're putting the finishing touches on it, just kind of polishing it up. And so it'd be a really good time to go back and look at those instructions again. I think the instructions will help you a lot. They told you what to do step by step. They told you the questions that needed to be answered. They talked about your bibliography. Good idea to look at your bibliography. Check one more time to make sure that you are citing all of your sources in an appropriate, proper way. We want to make sure that we're using really, really good hygiene when it comes to that. We don't want there to be any situation where you accidentally take credit for some idea that isn't your own, and good citing, good referencing, good use of bibliography is going to make sure that that doesn't happen. Also, a reminder, and we think you know this, but it's also a really good time to reach out to us here. We do have several days for you to finish it up. And so if you are looking at it and kind of trying to get to that final stage and you still have an outstanding question, by all means let us know, and we'd be more than happy to try to shepherd you in here to the last stages of your essay. In terms of big advice, I'd say this: make sure that as you look it over, that it's really specific, and as you read it, try to read it from the perspective of someone who is seeing it for the first time. And if you have questions about what's being said, then that means we would have questions about what's being said. If you're, for example, writing about the French Revolution and you say things like this: the French Revolution was really important. The French Revolution had major ramifications for world history, but then you never really go on and explain that. As you read it, you'll probably ask yourself, well, what do I mean by that? What are the specifics? We'll be doing the same thing, and that would be the sign that you really didn't go deep enough, that you really didn't get into the thinking and the expressing yourself like a historian. Goes back to what we talked about on the very, very first day of the semester. We want you to be looking at significance. We want you to be looking at meaning. We want you to be engaging in critical thinking and analysis and making connections among these major ideas. And specificity is the way that you do that, so make sure that you're checking for that. Look at the rubric, lay the rubric right down next to your finished or close to finished product, and pre-grade it. Look at it as if you're us, because that's what we're going to use to grade it, and just go through and see if there are any areas that need to be bolstered in any way. Keep in mind, we are asking that you bring a physical copy with you on Thursday. Please have a physical copy. That is a requirement. Bring it on Thursday. It'll be considered late if you don't, and there's no reason for you to put yourself in that situation. So just make a note. You got to print it up and you got to bring it with you. There's no discussion board this week, so when you go on Learning Studio, you won't find that. You will find the annotation for a focus question, so please make sure you do that as you're reading about the Industrial Revolution. And again, let us know what questions, what concerns you've got, and we'll talk to you for sure on Thursday, and look forward to diving into the Industrial Revolution. Have a great week.